Another day of sniping between the governor, Andrew Cuomo, and his honor, Mayor Bill de Blasio. Now, the mayor, he's now saying, get this, that he worked hard in helping the governor get elected by showing up progressive support, and he's suggesting it's time for some gratitude from the governor's mansion. Andrew Cuomo says the mayor's affordable housing reforms are, quote, a sweetheart deal for the big developers. And this has been going on for a few days now, and the fight's getting pettier by the day, but important issues are on the table, like pensions and affordable housing. First off, we spoke, Scott, to sitting lawmakers and also some folks very close to what's going on in Albany. And to a person, they all say, this isn't manufactured. These two guys, and more specifically their camps, they're not playing well with each other. The broad read is that the governor reads a little bit of weakness in the mayor. The mayor can't get over the fact about how the governor's treating him. It sounds like, on the blacktop, two, 7-year-olds, but still, just how petty has this thing gotten between these two?
I mean, to be honest with you, Richard, policy's not going to be made in the stuff we're watching on TV. And policy's not going to be made in this sniping and the two camps who have different issues going on. People get their feelings hurt. People take things personally.
Yeah, but big boys and girls shouldn't be like, I helped him get on the Double Working Families Party. Why doesn't he like me?
But that's actually the point. The point is that when you really come down to it, the policy is going to be made outside of public view, behind closed doors, where people are actually not having conversations for a soundbite in a press tomorrow.
Okay.
They're not posturing for that purpose.
Is this stuff going to make it more difficult to get that policy done?
I mean, I think any time policy becomes personal, it makes it harder. But the fact is, these are two pros, and when they get behind closed doors,
definitely
you're going to have a conversation.
De Blasio felt that he got played on the universal pre-K in terms of how he got maneuvered by the governor as to who got the credit for the program here. He doesn't want to go down that road again.
I actually don't agree with that. Are you kidding? I mean, with Richard.
Yeah, go ahead.
The fact is, Bill de Blasio's massive, huge victory in his first year has been universal pre-K.
Don't you think the governor played him a little bit?
Of course the governor played him a little bit.
But the bottom line is...
Scott knows the governor played him. He knows that.
The bottom line is it's a huge victory for Bill de Blasio, and nobody doubts
That's true.
He
okay,
made that
but we're talking about important stuff with pensions and affordable housing, right? And the governor certainly isn't going to be throwing any bones to the mayor the way this whole thing's playing out. So how does that work itself out here when obviously...
I will tell you, on 421A, some of what's being discussed here, nobody's talking about the price of land. No one's talking about the margin for developers. There are issues that are not on the table to talk about. You're going to cut a deal with labor. The fact is...
And some of the hourly numbers are crazy.
The fact is you should have jobs in this city where you don't necessarily need a graduate degree to be able to earn a decent living. You should have skilled labor jobs that are valued in this city. I don't disagree with that.
Decent living to like, oh my God.
Well, and obviously, when it comes to affordable housing, somebody's got to say to the developers, you can't expect 20% return. You're not entitled to 20% return.
Richard, they don't play well with each other. I mean, Scott is nice.
But
he gave you the diplomatic version.
Whether they like each other or not, is it really going to impact the legislation? Have you seen it when personal trumps policy?
What I know of this governor, knowing him very well, if he can stick it to you and he views you as an adversary and he views everyone as an adversary, there's only one ego in the room, the way that Governor Cuomo sees it, and that's his, period. And the more that Mayor de Blasio tours the country, Richard, that he's a national progressive or a national spokesman, the more the governor is going to get pissed off. In fairness to both of them, the relationship between the mayor and the governor, it's always where they basically, they're battling for the same attention. And keep in mind, and Scott knows the history of this, so he can correct me if I'm wrong, going back to even Pataki and Rudy Giuliani, two Republicans.
It's been a generation.
When Pataki ran for president and went to City Hall to see Rudy Giuliani, Rudy left them standing in the hallway.
No, there are real institutional tensions between the state and the city, and that's not a function of the personalities. That's a function of the institutions.
And we talked a lot about corruption, and it was a little item here to some, but people thought it could be a dangerous sign, even for the governor's administration. When we're talking about corruption, we got to play the animation. There goes Albany. All right, check out this Post headline. Again, it's a Post, but still. It says the U.S. Attorney Preet Bharara He's getting closer to Andrew Cuomo as he continues to unravel some ongoing corruption cases. Article says Bahar has indicted Anthony Bonomo. Significant because he alleged the insurance executive gave no-show jobs to, among others, Dean Skelos' son, Adam. Remember him? And the plot thickens because Cuomo appointed Bonomo director of the New York Racing Association. Amazing. There could be some scandal there. And Bonomo is reportedly one of the governor's top donors. Already 2 men in the room are in trouble, or at least under indictment. You think this is reason for the governor to be concerned?
I think the governor had reason to be concerned before this came out. I think the governor is probably still concerned. I think the bigger concern is probably Skelos and Silver, and if they have anything on him. I think this is something that the governor is going to pay attention to, but we'll see. I mean, it has the potential to yield something larger if there was anything untoward between Bonanno and Cuomo as they did business. I don't know. It's nice. It's very helpful of the Post to connect the dots like that. We'll see if Preet Bharara
and Fred Dicker's got his own problems with the governor doubled down on.
We'll see if Preet Bharara connects those dots as easily as the Post did.
You know, the only problem I've ever had with this is, whether you love him, you hate him, it doesn't matter. Andrew Cuomo was a smart guy. Why he would ever, when he had no need or reason, he was raising money in the last election by the millions, by the handful here. Why he would need to have his hand out for anything as it relates to this, it would shock me. Now, a lot of things have shocked me in politics, I grant you, but that would. You know, maybe I would have said the same thing about Shelley Silver potentially. That was seemingly more institutional for so long, but that this guy on the screen wouldn't know better after all the experience of seeing everything of Albany from a first-hand perspective and then what he saw behind the scenes when his old man was governor, that would shock me, no?
It wouldn't shock me, and I don't know why it would shock you, because for these people, men or women, it is all about when you're in the fight of your life to keep your seat.
But he wasn't in the fight of his life.
He was in the fight of his life.
He beat Astrid by 40 points.
Yeah, Richard, oh my God. You know, he is in the fight to get his second term and to try to get his third term like his father. I mean, these people have to rack up money to do that. And the fact that he would go to all lengths and do whatever he needed to do to get that is not surprising to me. This is the way the system works.
I just have to tell you, when we start, and I know she didn't mean this, when we start saying things like these people, it really...
No, I did mean it.
It really casts some broad strokes
Scott, I did mean
around
it.
a whole bunch of elected officials, Jimmy.
I gotta tell you, Scott, I'm with the professor.
I have to tell you guys,
These
the
people
fact is,
definitely apply.
And why the hell, if you're a person of integrity and decency who wants to serve, would you ever go run for assembly at $79,000 a year to commute to Albany 3 days a week so you guys can start out before you even know them?
Scott, I'm 100% with you. But here's where the narrative gets tougher to argue. Because, for example, we got some good ones here. I mean, Shelley Mayer, one of my favorites, and I think honest as the day is long.
Or Dan Court, or Diane Savino, or Rob Rodriguez.
Right. But you look at leadership, for crying out loud. When the Speaker and the Senate Majority Leader are under indictment, and when we hear what they're under indictment for, it's not the petty variety stuff. You say, oh my gosh. So I don't think they're right. I think they're exaggerating and throwing too broad a blanket.
Us?
Both
Me?
Those people,
right?
those
So
people,
those people.
No.
But Scott, you understand where there's a healthy and deserved skepticism now out of everything in Albany, and shame
Can
on
I
leadership
speak?
for letting it get to that point.
No, can I speak? No, I said exactly what I meant. I
I'm
have
sorry
no
for giving you
problem.
the benefit
No,
of the
no,
doubt.
no. Yeah, no, you said I didn't know what I'm saying, and
No,
I
I'm sorry,
absolutely,
no, I'm-
Get to it,
I
get to it.
absolutely do know what I'm saying. By these people, I do not mean bad people. I mean people in
I
a
mean that.
system.
I mean
He
that.
may mean that, but I mean people in a system in which they have to get money to make a go of it. It is
Right?
not.
You're
it is-
suggesting
it
that
is not-
everybody
no,
is
no, no,
tempted
no,
to
no,
break
no,
the
no.
law
No, no, no.
under those
No,
circumstances.
no, no, that's not what
That's
I.
it. Okay,
No,
that's-
I
Well,
didn't
what's-
say
what-
they're
what's the
attempting to break the
percentage
law.
that's-
I said they're trying to
What's the
raise
percentage that's
money.
corrupt?
That's exactly what I
Scott,
said.
make the last point before I got to go to
Why
break.
does he get to make the last point?
Because I'm
Because
not
he's a white male.
Ow! Why'd you have to go there?
It's
sorry,
only
I'm not
Monday.
even that
It's
white.
only Monday. Scott, my point is, why
Scott
should the
again.
public have any belief that Albany can correct what seems to be an institutional failing where people don't have their hand out and there is an abuse of power?
I mean, the fact is the public is who corrects this problem because the public values integrity in their elected officials. And the public, as they become more educated on these issues, are going to throw whatever bums there are out.
Unfortunately, and
That's
Andrew,
that's a very sweet answer.
it is very sweet.
very sweet.
Unfortunately, they may not like it. If the crook runs their own district, it's their crook.
Do
Anyway.
I get to speak?
You will after the break. And trust me, we got a whole second for
Do
you.
women get to speak here?
Oh
or not?
my God! Coming up next, competing plans to deal with the growing problem of sexual abuse on college campuses in New York. Oh, you're going to get this one, all right? So you can talk about what's going on at your college campus. Absolutely, Jeannie. Governor Cuomo has his yes means yes proposal, and Westchester County Exec Rob Astorino has his own 4-point plan. Of course he does. We're going to debate both of the plans and also ask Jeannie Zaino, the woman at the table, where the appropriate line ought to be. Stay with us.